What's up, guys? Mike O'Connor here. Just checking in with a quick film breakdown from Game 2 of the Sixers and Wizards first round playoff series. Just wanted to highlight a couple of things that I thought Ben Simmons did well, that Joel Embiid did well, and some stuff that Embiid could improve on. So just some quick takeaways from the game. I hope you enjoy it, and just a reminder, as always, this video is sponsored by Body Bio. All right, let's get into the film breakdown. All right, let's start with Ben Simmons. Ben had a really nice game in Game 2, 22 points, 9 rebounds, 8 assists. Got involved in a number of different ways. I liked, he was aggressive in transition. But I want to highlight what I want to highlight first is how the Sixers got him some really quality looks out of the post. If you know me, if you follow my work, I've been critical of how often the Sixers post up Ben in the past. But I like the stuff they did in this game in particular. To get him some good looks, right? So this is the first possession of the game, and what you're going to see here is Seth Curry immediately going to set a screen on Russell Westbrook, trying to get a switch, trying to get Simmons switched onto Raul Neto. And the Wizards don't want to do that, so Westbrook is basically going to have to go under this screen, and what that's going to allow Simmons to do is work a little bit downhill. Because Westbrook has to navigate this screen, he's not able to wall up to Simmons, and Simmons is basically just able to, walk into a decent look here. I love that kind of stuff where they're able to, make the defense work, make the defense move, and present them with a tough decision. This is another example of that in the second half where I think this is Beal. Yeah, Beal's guarding Simmons. And again, Curry is going to drag Neto into the play, sets a nice screen on Beal. And then look at how deep Simmons is able to get before Beal can even wall up to him, right? Like, that's basically death and taxes territory. So, if I were the Wizards, I would have probably just switched Neto onto him, but clearly they don't want to do that. So, if you can't get that mismatch, if you're the Sixers, you're at least going to get really deep post position, because I don't care if you go over or under this screen. If you're Beal, it's really tough to guard, right? So I just like this little action the Sixers have, trying to get Ben good post up position, and he got some easy buckets out of that. Here's another example from the first quarter. Ben's basically going to dribble into a post up in semi-transition here, and this time it's going to be Matisse Thybulle going to set a screen. This time the Wizards yield the switch, right? So they're going to let Bertans guard Simmons, and that is just a disaster, right? Bertans going to flop, Simmons gets an easy bucket. The areas where I've been critical of the Sixers posting Ben up too much in the past have been, looking to post Ben up against a guy who's basically his size and stagnating the offense. But what I like is these quick hitting actions where, you present the defense with a tough decision and you go to work quick, right? That's what I like to see. I don't want to see the offense coming to a halt, trying to get Ben posting up against a guy who's his size, right? I want to see Ben either working against a mismatch or these types of quick hitting actions where, he's just able to go right to work. So I really like the way that they got him some open looks there in the post. So the other thing I liked from Ben in this game was just his aggression in transition, putting pressure on the defense. Especially going against a bad defensive team in the Wizards, you're gonna have openings, right? Like, better defenses. I mean, the scouting report is out on what to do against Ben Simmons in transition. You have to wall up against him, right? You have to have, his man Chandler Hutchinson's doing a decent job here, but Westbrook has to be, basically like parallel to the nail here. He has to be, closer to the middle of the floor to cut Simmons' space off, trying to get downhill. But he doesn't. He lets Simmons go right by, and that's just going to result in an easy dunk. So I just like to see Ben taking advantage of that stuff. I thought there were a couple times in Game 1. I don't think he played a bad Game 1, but there were a couple times where he let the defense off the hook, right? If they are not walled up in transition, Ben has to go on an all-out assault downhill. That's what he has to do. And in this case, Westbrook is, a step out of position. Simmons is just able to get all the way downhill, and that's an easy bucket, right? This was a great play towards the end of the second quarter where, Simmons finds Embiid. And it's the same thing, Simmons gets loose and there's nobody to wall up against him. You would like to see Neto a little bit closer towards the middle of the floor. I know that's Seth Curry, but Simmons is just a freight train and you get a little distracted and that's what happens. So, just Ben's level of aggression in transition was awesome. This is another play from the first quarter where I like him getting to his shot here. Again, this is where better teams, Alex Len would be a step to his left and cut Ben off and force the pass to Embiid, but he doesn't, and Simmons is able to get a decent look. I like Ben taking these kinds of shots. Just establish some level of comfort and establish some level of a threat to pull up in these types of situations. So, just Ben looking to be aggressive, looking for little creases. I like that. When you don't see a wall, find the hole, right? And I think that he did a good job of that throughout this game.
For any athlete, BodyBio Elite will improve your performance by preventing cramping and fatigue. Water alone doesn't replenish what your body needs, and most sports drinks contain unnecessary amounts of sugar and artificial flavors. BodyBio Elite has 3 all-natural ingredients: sodium, potassium, and magnesium, the electrolytes your body needs. Whether you're a runner, doing mixed martial arts, or just lifting in the gym, a splash of Elite in your water throughout the day will ensure that you deliver your peak performance. BodyBio Elite, no-nonsense electrolytes.
All right, let's talk about Joel Embiid working against double teams in the post. The Sixers mostly got good results from these types of possessions, but there was, some good, some bad in terms of process. So I just want to highlight a few things, some things he did well, some things that they should try to work on when they go against better teams in the next couple rounds. Starting with this first possession, this was the first time they went to Embiid in the post, and this was, he just handled it perfectly. I mean, so this is exemplary passing out of the post here. What you're going to see is the Wizards defended him in the post the exact same way pretty much the entire game. The help was coming from the weak side corner. So in this case, you're going to see Raul Neto. As soon as that entry pass is thrown, he's going to help off Seth Curry. And then the Wizards are going to basically zone up on the weak side between Seth and, in this case, it's Ben Simmons. So what Embiid's going to do well here is as soon as he catches the ball, he's going to look to get rid of it early, right, before the double team even comes. And he's going to look diagonal because that's usually where the open guy is going to be, right? So in this case, it's Seth Curry. Again, before the double team even gets there, gets a nice pass off to Seth, and it's an open 3. Again, what he did nice here was when he catches the ball, as soon as he catches it, he's looking to pass, right? He knows the double team is coming. He knows to look diagonal, and he gets a pass off before anybody's really in his face. So this was a really nice possession for Joel. But let's look at a couple moving forward here. I think this was 2 possessions later. The Sixers run this play a lot to get Embiid post position, and again it's the same coverage here. Again, Beal coming from the weak side corner, and Joel is just a little bit late. Not terrible, but just a little bit late to look for that pass. Right. What he should do is look diagonal. Danny Green is open here, and you would also like to see Ben more so in the lane to get Westbrook out of the play, but that's a different conversation. So. Joel just, a little bit late to look for that pass, but he's going to dribble out of it. Sixers get a decent look out of it anyway. But again, the ideal situation there would have been Embiid gets doubled and immediately sees Danny Green is open, fires a pass to him. Again, you would love to see Ben dragging Westbrook down into the paint here, but just not ideal spacing, not ideal decision making, something they're going to want to tighten up as they move forward into the next couple rounds. All right, let's look at the next post up here. On this play, you're going to see, again, Joel catches the ball, and he's going to do the right thing here. I like that he takes one dribble because Len is really up in his face. It would be tough to get a pass off, but the open man, as usual, is diagonal. It's Danny Green here. So what you would like to see is one dribble and then fire past to Danny Green just to get a little bit of space, right? But instead, Joel's going to make one dribble and just kind of shovel it over to Tobias Harris. Again, this is an example where the Sixers are going to get a good look out of this play, right? But it's something that against better defenses, later rounds, it's going to be tough, right? If they were going against the Bucks, for example, and this closeout is coming from Chris Middleton, I don't think Danny Green makes this play, right? So what you would like to see is the ball gets swung to Danny Green off of that Embiid pass, and then he gets an open 3. But the Sixers take a circuitous route, and Green is able to make a play anyway. So just, again, not terrible, but not ideal there. This is another example of just not great spacing. You're going to see George Hill set this screen here. George Hill is going to screen for Embiid, and Hill's going to kind of get caught on that screen. And what that's going to do is basically ruin the spacing on the play, right? What you would like to see is Hill sets that screen. He sets a good hard screen, gets Embiid good position. But as soon as he set that screen, you would like to see him, exit out and go into the corner here. So instead, because Embiid catches the ball, and Embiid is going to do exactly the right thing because he knows what's coming, right? Bertans is doubling from the weak side corner, but there's nobody in the weak side corner. Hill is late getting there because he got caught on that screen, and Embiid thinks about passing it to Thibault there on the wing, eventually opts not to. And again, the Sixers get a decent look out of it. Thibault makes a nice cut, and he's able to find Simmons for a pass here, but it's just one of those little things where, if you're going against a better defense and Hill were open in that corner, you could get an open three off that right away. Embiid is looking to pass. I mean, he knows exactly what's coming. It's good decision making on his part, but you would have just liked to see Hill, make a little bit of a quicker exit. Even if he's still flaring out to that corner when the pass comes, it would have been all right. But again, didn't bite them in this game. The Wizards defense is terrible. They're able to get good looks pretty much no matter what. But just little things here and there, I think they could tighten up on. This is another example of that. Embiid is going to catch here, and same double team coming from the weak side. Beal is going to come over. Simmons switches into the strong side dunker spot, and Embiid looks for him. Not a terrible pass, but I think what I would have liked to see is Embiid looking diagonally could have flung this one to Seth and then swing to a George Hill three. So I would just say suboptimal decision making from Embiid. Not a terrible mistake, but again, you allow Beal to potentially get a deflection there. There he kicks it. And then this is right off that inbounds pass after the kicked ball. Again, same coverage. And now, instead of a decision-making mistake on Embiid's part, what we're looking at is, just bad spacing, right? I don't understand why Hill is flashing to the dunker spot here. If, Embiid, when he catches, again, he's in good shape. He's looking to pass. If Hill just stays put in this corner, I mean, it's a wide open three, right? If not, then it's a swing to a Tobias open three. But Hill, for some reason, decides to cut. Tobias also decides to cut. I don't know why Tobias is running straight at Embiid here, but just not great spacing on the Sixers' part, just not totally on the same page. So, again, they're able to get a good look out of it. But, going against better defenses, I would just like to see Hill, stay in that corner. Because Embiid knows exactly what's coming. He would have been ready to get the pass off. If Hill's in that corner, it's an open three. So I just wanted to highlight these things because whether it's Embiid or whether it's his teammate, his teammate's not spacing the right way, these are things they're going to have to get a little bit better at as the playoffs go on, right? This play is the last one I'll highlight. I just wanted to give Embiid a shout out here because this one is great decision making on his part, right? He's going to dribble into a post up, and again, he knows where the double team is coming from, right? Because it's come from the same place on every single post up. Westbrook is going to double. Danny Green is exiting right now to the weak side corner, and that's going to leave, Westbrook is going to have to be the guy that doubles. Embiid knows that. He knows exactly what's coming. So what he's going to do is before Danny Green is even in the weak side corner, he's going to fling that pass over there, and Green gets an open three. I mean, that is Embiid, reading the play before it happens. That's awesome to see. He saw the coverage a handful of times. He knows what's coming. He sees Danny Green making that cut, and he floats a perfect pass over to him for an open three. So, in this game, some good, some bad in terms of Embiid out of the post. I did think he did a nice job. He didn't panic. He wasn't super turnover prone. I think this was the only turnover I saw out of the post. But overall, the team just has to be a little bit more crisp, maintain that spacing, and Embiid has to be a little bit quicker with his decisions, looking diagonal and trying to avoid letting the double team overwhelm.